This is a Jmix exclusive.
If you don't mind, can we go to the point where you actually become Tupac's assistant? When did that happen?
Okay. When he got locked up for a rape charge just as I was getting out of prison. And we had not communicated the whole time I was locked up. And to me, it was kind of like a slap on the face because I had been there and been every part of him getting to where he was. And for me and him, we both saw it different ways. You know how you're in a tiff with somebody and you think you're mad at them because of something and they think they're mad at you for something different, and time goes by. And so basically I got his address from someone, and I wrote him in jail while he was at Clinton Correctional. And you can tell the excitement. You know, I explained what I was going through and how I felt about us not talking. And the way he wrote back, it was like a weight taken off of him. He was just so intense in what he was saying to me. He's like, I thought it was this and blah, 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 blah. And I'm so glad to hear from you. You the only real motherfucker, blah, blah. You know, all this stuff, you know, tuning back into each other. And then I think we wrote each other like twice. And he said, he says, I might be getting out of here. I heard it from him before I heard it on TV. I might be getting out of here, and Suge is working on something. I'm like, what? You can't do that. You're signed to Interscope, blah, blah, blah. This is before I knew how all this shit worked. And he was like, what he said came true. And, you know, and so basically it was through correspondence. So as soon as he reached L.A., he called me and he said, hey, man, by that time I had started my own record label and recording studio. And he said, hey, man, you still into music and stuff? He said, I need somebody around me I can trust. He says, can you fly up to L.A. and be my assistant? I said, fuck yeah. Hell yeah, you know? And I'm like, okay. So that was the beginning of the end.
What was your first impression of Suge Knight?
I was in awe. I had heard his name, or I had read about him. I'm a reader more than anything else. I read some stuff, and I wasn't sure how to pronounce his name. I'm like, is his name Suge? Suge? So Pac starts. The first time I heard Suge was from Pac. So it took me like 3 weeks to nail Pac down because him and his crew were just like all over the place. They go from Can-Am recording a song to Snoop's house to some party to some social event to Suge's other office and Suge's house, and then trips on the boat and California Love video. So it takes me like 3 weeks to nail him down. I'm driving a little bucket through the streets of L.A., staying with a couple friends in Pasadena. Finally, he calls me up, and he says, we're at the studio. Come to the studio now. And it's Can-Am over in Reseda, California. So I shoot over there, and everybody's heading out the parking lot. As soon as I'm flying in, they're flying out. They all go to this gas station. It's right up the street from the studio. And Pac, I think he told me to jump in or something. I jump in a car or whatever, and I think we go over to Snoop's house. So I spent my first night with Death Row at Snoop Dogg's house. And then We go back to Can-Am the next day to start working on a couple songs. The whole time we're doing songs for the double album. So he's like, yeah, man, I want you. We go back to his hotel first before we go to the studio. And he sits down. He says, man, here's the deal. When we was young, you was the shit. You was the leader of the pack. That doesn't go here. He says, I'm the man. He says, I get all the accolades. I get all the bitches. It used to be the other way around. Now it's this way. I said, man, I'm not here for no bitches. I'm here to engage in this music industry. So basically I said, I understood. But he was basically telling me he was the star and everything revolves around him. And I understood that and respected that. So he told me, yeah, Suge is this. He said, Suge is going to want to meet you. He wants me to have an assistant. Basically, you're going to do this. You're going to do all the things that I can't do readily. I said, I'm with that. That's easy for me. And, we met at his hotel. He was staying at the hotel across the street from the Beverly Hills Hotel. Forgot what it's called. So we went to meet Suge, and I go in Suge's office, and it's all red carpet, red everything. Big-ass barbell on the ground, like he lifts weights or something. And he said, what's up, Kendrick? I said, what's up? And he says, Pac wants you to work with him. I want you to help him, help him get his things done. But we don't want you to go Hollywood. That was his main thing, wanting to tell me not to go Hollywood. Like, people come into the fold and suddenly they become bigger than life and the stars, and everybody changes. But I had no problem with that. He didn't say much. But he was a nice guy to me. He had a nice smile. He didn't seem nothing like the things I had heard. I had heard bad things, and he just seemed like, okay, like any other person in charge of some shit that I've met in my life.
I guess my next question would be, is he the big bad wolf that people say he is?
In sheep's clothing, yes. I came to see some badass shit, but compared to things I know about gangsters, it wouldn't be like, in other words, gangsters kill people and chop off people's heads. But this gangster's mystique was more of walking into rooms with baseball bats and stripping people down to their clothes, out of their clothes, and things that when you put it in print, it seems more exciting than some two-bit gangsters who shoot people's moms to death, He didn't do any of that. I've never seen him with guns or shooting anybody, but he struck fear.
Were you there for the alleged strip down of Mopreme and Big Psych?
I heard something happened with Big Psych. There were several events like that. I mean, one event, Suge Knight had me and Mopreme out in the snow on a balcony. But I don't know about the stripping and of the site. But I'm not gonna say it didn't happen because I remember there was a dispute about money, and then site just didn't come around Suge much anymore. But I didn't know about. I didn't know anything about him doing anything to site.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?